Hello, who am I here with today?
My name is Lisa Mischke.
And I hear that you're retiring this year.
That is correct.
What made you decide to retire this year?
Well, I have been teaching since 1989. So it's been 30 some years of teaching in the education field. And my husband and I always had agreed that if one considers retirement and one goes through that retirement process, then the other one will follow. So my husband retired in January, so I thought it was the right time for me to consider retirement.
And how many years have you been here in the Worthington district?
2 full years.
And what brought you to Worthington?
Well, I was looking at an alternative way of working with students. And I felt that I've had a lot of experience in the field of special education. I had a lot of experience administering standardized assessments and then interpreting those and writing them. And I thought that would be a good match for me in this phase of my career.
And so where are you from originally?
I am from Westbrook, Minnesota, but I was born in Iowa, spent some growing up years in North Dakota, in Minot, and also in St. James, and ended up in Southwest Minnesota.
So born and raised in the Midwest.
You
So
bet.
not that different from Worthington, all those
No.
areas. Pretty close. But every town has a difference. Is there any difference you saw when you first arrived to Worthington compared to everywhere else you lived?
Yes, there was a wide range of diversity. And I thought that would be a new challenge in my case because I didn't have a lot of experience with that, and I wanted to kind of expand my horizons a bit and work more with a diverse population.
And has education something you always want to do, or is it something that's in your family, like your second generation, third? Where did generation come into your views?
Well, my parents did not. They were not graduates of any kind of higher ed academia. So this was more of a first generation for our family, and I did a lot of babysitting, and I thought, I felt like there was kind of this connection I had with kids. I enjoyed that interaction with them, and I found that maybe that's something I should consider in terms of my career. So.
And where did you go to school to pursue education?
I did go to Minnesota State University in Mankato, got my 4-year degree, got a major and double minor, and then 20 years went by, and I decided to obtain my master's from Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall.
And over the years, have you seen a change in education from when you first started till now?
Very much so. I think, generally speaking, we have become much more good at identifying students and their strengths and their needs. I think our instructional techniques and styles have improved significantly due to more research and theory-based instructional practices. And there's been more challenges in terms of the needs that we are dealing with now in children, significant needs, both academically and in other areas such as social, emotional, and behavioral needs.
How was it when you first started into the career field? Was there anything anything you were nervous about? Was there, like,
Oh,
thinking back to when you first started?
oh dear. When I first started, special education was just starting to get kind of get established. And so there wasn't a whole lot of things put in place prior to my first assignment. For example, when I worked for Maple River Schools south of Mankato, they had asked me to start a program in a high school for students who have challenges in the emotional, behavioral, social need areas. Because they didn't have a program. So I was supposed to initiate this with very little in place, very little supports in place. So it's come a long way in terms of identifying and meeting the needs of students with special needs.
Being a trailblazer, as in first in your family to get a higher education, to being first in, Midwest to in many schools to help implement these special education programs. Is there anything that, and not having someone before you give you the way, you haven't found your own way, is there
Mm-hmm.
something you wish if you could go back to yourself and then maybe advice or anything to help lead you the way you took,
Mm-hmm.
what would you, advice would you give?
I think, considering my background and some of the challenges that I had growing up, I think the most important piece is developing resilient children. There's a lot of things that are happening in this world, a lot of family dynamics, social and economic things. So there's a lot of things that are coming into play that could work against children in terms of developing that whole child aspect. I think we need to work on the importance of resilience and being able to bounce back when challenges occur or when you get setbacks, because that's what enables us to become more successful in life.
That's a lot of beauty in that, children are our future. And it's great that we had someone like you in our community to care for. There's every subdivision in education, and we need people in every division to care. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So after retirement, do you plan on staying in Worthington or?
Well, I live in Westbrook, so that's
Okay.
not very far from Worthington. I plan on continuing to stay engaged in the community. I am part of the behavioral task force for the county, for Jackson and Cottonwood County. So I do that part-time, kind of on the side. I just feel that mental health is a necessary and important component in the lives of children and adults. And then I plan on, doing fulfilling all the goals that I have once I retire, returning to piano, taking lessons, gardening, reading, traveling. So.
And every time someone leaves a placement, someone else fills in the shoes. Do you have any words of wisdom or advice for the next person who's going to step in your shoes and start their journey?
Mm-hmm. I think we need to make sure to collaborate with not only our fellow educators, but with our families and work as a team, because we can't do these things alone. We can't make the progress we want unless we're willing to collaborate and listen to the input that our families have, because I think that's a driving force in enabling these, all students to grow and learn and become successful, both in school and in the community.
Well, on behalf of Studio 3 and the Warrington District, thank you so much for your years of working here, and we wish you a happy retirement.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.